Hi friends, Together Run. It's Together Run Day. Did you enjoy the long run with Darius last weekend? That's pretty cool that he did a 2-hour run for us. And he did a wonderful job. Now, today you have another guest Together Run. And I wish I could be sharing one with me today and then having another guest one next week. However, I've mentioned on multiple places that I've been sick, had a cold, had my kids both sick, and just wasn't, to be honest, taking very good care of myself. Well, on Thursday, I felt pressure to do a workout because I felt like I'd been making so many excuses and not doing hard days. And so I did a hard day. And my body said that was too much. And even though my gut knew it, my body had to shut me down. And so now I have bronchitis. And I've tried to give it, it's been 2 weeks, I tried to give it time where I tried to give it time where I just hoped it would heal on its own. But unfortunately, now I've come to the place where, it's taken the next step, and now I have bronchitis that needs antibiotics. Really not a fan of antibiotics, to be honest, and so I fought hard the last few days to not take it, but it's come to that place where we're risking my livelihood, we're risking other things, we're risking it getting worse and developing into something else, so I can't do the races I have planned, and so here we are. That said, this is not a booby prize. This is not we don't really say that here in the US, do you? It's not like I don't know what the phrase would be. It's not a runner-up position, I suppose. I'm excited to welcome Michael for a Together Run. He has done a wonderful job. I may or may not have a Together Run for you next week, depending on how my body is feeling, but I will be back as soon as I can. So take care of yourselves, because I didn't do a very good job with that, and this can be the reminder to do that. All right, over to Michael. Here we go.
Hey, hello. Hi, my name is Michael Whiting, and I'm going to try and do a Together Run today. I've got a long run on tap. I won't hold you for the whole thing, but for at least an hour, we can be together and run. And I know Tina likes to start out with touching nature, so I'm going to start out doing the same. So we're grounded for our run. We can feel good about it, recognize what's around us, and I'm going to do a little different today. I'm going to reach up and touch the sun. Because to me, the sun is shining today. We don't see too much of that in upstate New York. It's shining beautifully on everything. So if I can touch the sun, it touches the earth, and I'm well grounded. So we ready to start our Together Run today and have a good discussion? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Off we go. All right. Well, today is Sunday, and I have on tap a 16-mile run. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I watched the weather, and it was too cold to stay out there. So I decided to move my long run to Sunday when it would be 30 degrees, a little bit more reasonable and enjoyable. So that's where we're at. Got my notes. Let's see how this run works out. My route today is going to take me on some country roads, a little more traffic than I like, but I had to worry about the shoulders being clear and dry as I run, and a lot of the country roads, they plow the road, but they don't plow the side of the road. But this state road does. That's where we're going today. So first thing that I know Tina likes to do is kind of a easy body check. Find out what it is we're feeling right now. Do we have any niggles we have to work out or think about during the whole run? I don't know. So I'm going to go through mine. I'm going to do it backwards because I'm a rebel. I'm going to start at my toes, work my way up. My feet are feeling good. I'm all bundled up, and I've got nice warm gear on, so my legs and ankles are feeling good. I have an ankle injury. I had 2 severed ligaments in my left ankle. But working with PT and my doctor, they've kept me running and hopefully will keep on going. Working up to my legs, wearing tights today because it's cold. But they're a little bit tight because I haven't done much today so far. But I know they usually just loosen up as I get going. Up to my knees and my thighs, feeling good. My waist, and gotta make a turn here, so I gotta watch for traffic. All right. Up to my chest. Feels a little tight because I'm wearing a pack today. For 16 miles, I need hydration, so I've got my hydration with me and on my back. And my neck, a little bit tight, a little bit tense. But then I can work that through as I enjoy this run. I think that's what helps me to loosen up is enjoyment. If I'm not enjoying it, I'm going to be tense and tight and not too excited. So my shoulders are pretty loose. My arms are feeling good. And my hands, my head is good. I got my hat on. Keep my ears warm. My ears are warm. The rest of my body's warm. So now, why don't you take a minute, go through your body check. Make sure you don't have any things you're dealing with and you need to work through. You don't want to run with an injury if you can help it. So let's keep going. Oh no, I'm running.
Oh, okay.
It's funny. A lady just pulled off the side of the road and asked me if I wanted to ride. I'm wearing a reflective vest and running down the opposite side of the road. Never had that happen before. So, it's nice of her. But I'm one of those crazy people that instead of riding 16 miles, I'm going to run 16 miles. It's an out and back. Out and back path along the same road. And, trying to keep it easy. Hopefully the sound is good, and I'm using my hearing aid as my microphone as well. I've talked on the phone with it, but I've never tried to record with it, so hopefully it'll work out well. If not, somebody else can do it. All right. What I want to talk about today as we go along, something that's important to me. And I know Tina has hired I don't know the exact title, but an inclusion manager, I think that's what it is. Somebody to make sure that people aren't excluded. People are accepted. Maybe it's acceptance manager. I don't remember. I met her on a podcast a couple weeks ago. And kind of excited I got something like that. Because we're all different kind of people. Every one of us. I mean, it would be boring if we're all the same. I know I'm different. Sorry, I had to pause for a second. Put my phone down. All right, here we go. We're all different, so that's the best thing about people is we're not clones. And I think it's important that we learn to include and not exclude. A lot of times in our day-to-day life, including running, we associate with people that are like us. Guys run with guys, girls like to run with girls. Bigger groups, yeah, we mix them up. People like to run typically with people about your same pace, same skill level. I was in a running group here in the town I'm in, and one of the complaints of some of the runners was the leaders of the group, their focus was marathon training. And yet those that weren't always seemed to get left behind. And so we got to look at where is everybody at? What are they doing? And find ways to not be judgmental. Everybody's different. Some people will say things or do things that just seem odd to you, but sometimes there's a reason for it. If we dig deep enough, we ask questions, I think we can figure out what some of those things are. There's the obvious differences. I know that Tina's focused on race and making sure that people aren't excluded or penalized because of race, color. I think you could throw religion in there as well. And those are all important. But there are other differences that we have that sometimes we don't know. And that's what I want to talk about today is a difference that is near and dear to me, but not very well understood by most people. So, as we're running along, I hope you learn to listen and learn. If not, I hope you enjoy your run either way. But I want to talk about memory. What is memory? Think about that to you. What is a memory to you? Is it something special? Is it something scary? Do you have your favorite memories? Do you have your favorite times? Do you have memories that you dread? That you maybe want to get rid of? Most people have them. Memories shape a lot about who we are, what we do, and how we interact with people. You go to a party. What is the main topic of parties when you go there? It's talking about experiences people have had, their past, things they've done, things they've seen, common experiences that they've done with others in the group. Those are fun times to remember those things and to be part of that. But my question right now would be, what if you didn't have memories? What if you couldn't remember growing up? A lot of people don't anyhow. But what if you couldn't remember big events? Graduating from high school, or graduating from college, or interviewing for your first job. What if those memories weren't there? What if you didn't remember how you met your significant other or your best friend? How would that make you feel? Those memories weren't available to you, and they were just gone. Memory shapes our lives in many ways. It helps us understand time. We use memory to basically gauge our age and see where we're at. We know we graduated high school in this decade, and we got married or got in this decade. So we're able to formulate time based on the memories in our life. Okay? But think about it for a moment. What if you didn't have any? How would you feel not being able to remember any special event, any thing that took place in your life? Not being able to visualize loved ones that have passed on, be able to see their face and remember the good times you had with them. Would that be depressing? Scary? I think so. All right. We are 10 minutes into our run. Hopefully my breathing isn't too much. I'm trying to keep it slow, not just for the broadcast, but for my coach. She keeps telling me I run my easy runs too hard, and he wants me to slow it down. So I'm trying. All right. Let me check my notes. All right. All right. So let's do a mental check-in for a moment before we continue on any farther. The mental check-in is, where's your head at? I got asked that question last week by my coach, literally in the text. Where's your head at? And to be honest, I couldn't give a good answer. Last week I had some rough running times because of the weather. I'd be on a treadmill. I don't do good on treadmills. And I actually cut a run short because I wasn't feeling it. It was a tempo run. And I just stopped. And I went home and cut out more than half of it. My head wasn't in a good place. But I worked this week to get in a better place. A 16-mile run, I'm not dreading it. 2.5 hours on the road on a sunny, beautiful day. I'm enjoying this. Plus, I get to talk to you guys. That even makes it better. So think about it. Take a moment. Think about where your head is at. Are you in a good place right now? Are you feeling good? Something weighing you down? I'll be quiet and let you think for a minute. All right. We got to work our head back into a place that's productive. I was listening to Let Your Mind Run by Dina Castor. I've got it on audio and I've listened to it many times, and I always pick out parts that help me. And one of the things she focuses on is not letting negative thoughts get in your way. Replace the negative with something positive. Yes, it might be raining out during your run. So, it's refreshing. It's going to clean your shoes. Whatever it is to take the negative, make it a positive. The negative's not going to help you. So, get our head right. All right. So let's see. What I want to do, we talked about memory for a few minutes, and I want to share my experience with memory. When I was 45, I'm 58 now. When I was 45, I had I had a traumatic event took place. I won't go into the details, but this event caused me to not sleep for 6 weeks. Literally. I was a mental wreck. I'd go to bed, I'd sleep for 15 minutes, and I'd be up for hours. I'd sleep for 15 minutes, and I'd be up for hours. This went on for 6 weeks. Went to the doctor, tried to find out what's going on. They tried all their kinds of medication. And they came up with a combination. One day, this drug, next day, that drug. And after a while, it helped. And I was able to sleep 3-4 hours a night. Got a little bit better, and I stayed on those drugs for almost a year. Maybe a little bit longer, until my body got under control. But then I realized I don't want drugs to control me. So I worked to get off them. And I did. But during that time period, I went to see a counselor. And the counselor asked the questions that, I don't know, I couldn't answer. First asked me, what was my childhood like? I couldn't answer. Except the normal. I went to school. I was a wrestler. Graduated high school a year early. Just the facts. I couldn't tell her anything about my experiences because I couldn't remember. Then she asked about my family. Same thing. If I could give her the facts. I got one brother, 2 sisters. I'm married. I've got 5 kids. But I couldn't give any more details than that. So that got me thinking. So I went home. I asked my wife a question that I didn't know the answer to, but I did not. I said, how did we meet? She goes, you remember. And I said, well, I know you came to my apartment with a friend, because we talked about that. But how did that all happen? And she started sharing detailed experiences. It's like, I don't remember that. They weren't there. So as I'm talking to the therapist, we're trying to understand, well, why am I mentally blocked? Is it related to my sleep? Because my sleep got better, memory never came back, or I didn't have it. So it frustrated me. And it put me in a tailspin. Like, what's wrong with me? Why am I like this? Fast forward a couple of years, I thought about it. I researched it. And I read about dementia, Alzheimer's. But it didn't seem like that's where I was. I always knew who I was. I knew names of people I know. Yet, I couldn't remember significant events in my life. So, and then probably a couple years later, I was searching again and ran across a website for a condition called severely deficient autobiographical memory disorder from a Dr. Levine in Toronto, Canada. And I read all the articles he published and his associates published, trying to understand what it was. Because it fit me exactly. They basically said some people do not have episodic memory. Episodic memory is visual memory or auditory memory. It's memory related to what you see, what you experience. They're doing a study with certain people, I think it was 10, that had this condition, trying to understand it better. So I reached out to them, and they sent me a questionnaire, and I got to be part of the study, not really in depth, but I got to share some of my experiences and realize that that was me. I can remember dates, pretty much. I can remember some discussions I had with people years ago. But experiences? None. None at all. Then a year or so went by, and maybe a couple of years, I ran across another phrase I had never heard of before called aphantasia. Aphantasia is basically people who don't have what is known as mind's eye. They can't close their eyes and picture something. They can't close your eyes and say, what does an apple look like? Visualize it in your mind. They can't. Is aphantasia the same as SDAM? Still open for debate. But memory was part of both of those. People can visualize their past or re-experience experiences traumatic or good or anything. Not specific experiences. Any. So I learned that I'm not alone. That my memory is similar to many other people. And I had to deal with it. So that's my background. I went to a neurologist to see if there was something wrong. They did a series of basic tests. And his basic response to me was, what's your problem? I said, I can't remember. He goes, why? Who cares? Didn't like the guy. Wasn't thrilled with him. And then I got referred to a memory clinic at the University of Rochester, where they did an entire day-long series of tests. They are very in-depth. And the doctor that did it was really upfront. Explained that they don't diagnose people. They just do the test and let the test results tell the story. Well, I finished the test up and got her report, and nothing extreme stood out. Most of the tests were things like, I'll show you a series of numbers, put it back in the right order, things like that. Very short term, easy response. And I did really well. She said she couldn't find anything that was there. She understood my issue with past memories, but from what she could tell, nothing they had could pinpoint it. So we're up to 23 minutes. I typically do my strides mid-run when I do have them on the schedule. I know Tina likes to do them at the end of the run. I know a lot of people do. My coach seems to have me do them usually in the middle. I've got a 10-mile run. I'll run 5, do 4 to 6 strides, and then finish up my last 5 miles. It's okay. So today, I'll do a few strides with you when we get a little bit closer, a couple minutes. But how is your weather like right now? Are you running outside? Are you someplace in the north where you're hit with this cold spell? It's been brutal for almost 3 weeks now. Today was a blessing to have 30 degrees and sunshine. We really needed that. I know I did. So as you think about some of the things I'm saying, some things that people may be experiencing, you can't see. They hide it well. I'm really good at hiding my memory issue. For years, those that knew me well had no idea because I was able to function in the job. I'm a technical person, I'm a manager, and I was able to do my job, do it well. And so nobody knew what was going on. And it's weird that work memory doesn't seem to be affected. Maybe because it's not episodic. It's more intrinsic. Or some other form of memory that was easier to maintain. I'm a programmer by trade. I know several languages. I can still program them. I don't remember every aspect of it, but I never did. I always really tried to have a resource to look up the things I didn't know. So, kind of strange. That led me to understanding that there are different kinds of memory out there. Episodic is one form, but there are many other kinds. Oops, come up in an icy patch. So I'm going to focus on that for a second because there's a car coming. This portion of the road I'm running on, the side I'm on, I always run against the traffic. It's got a guardrail. And they plowed right up to the guardrail. But every now and then there's patches of snow and ice on the shoulder. When there's a car coming, I got to move over and come into the ice. So, just for the nuances of New York State running. All right, we're coming up on 30 minutes for the 30-minute group. Now, I plan on running for 2.5 hours. I will not keep this recording going for that long. But I'll definitely go as far as 60 minutes. And then maybe pop in some tunes, listen to some music, do some other things. But why don't we start thinking about a couple of strides for the 30-minute group. I typically don't stop when I do strides. I do. I am running along. I just increase my pace. My strides aren't going to hit my max pace. I try to do about 80%. Just a nice, easy stretch out. Get a little speed in there. And then I typically jog easy to recovery. That's what my coach likes. I do too. I think it's important. But if you have to walk recovery, that's okay too. I was with a running group years ago, and his view was, it doesn't matter. Run recovery, walk recovery. The key is when you're running your hard paces, hit your pace. So let's plan on a stride in the next 10 seconds or so. We'll go for about 15 seconds, and then we'll take a little bit of a break, a jog break or walk break, whatever you want to do. I'm looking at my watch, and I'm going to start it right at the 29-minute mark, which is 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit it. Hit your stride. And like Tina says, stride isn't meant to stretch your stride, stretch your legs. It's meant to increase your speed. Your cadence should remain the same pretty much, but you're off the ground a little bit longer than you normally would on a slower run. There you go. All right. Slow down. Walk if you need to. Jog in place for those that are there. All right. That's typically what I get told. My coach, who is awesome, her name is Sarah. Her Instagram title is I've Got the Trots. Been coach coaching me for, I think, over 3 years. And she typically says, do your next stride when you're recovered from the first one. You don't want to start out your next stride when you're still winded. So get yourself recovered, and then we'll head off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let it go. Get a little speed in your legs. Let it stretch out. Get those muscles that you haven't been using on a slow run. Get them going. All right, there you go. Back into our recovery. Awesome. So those in the 30-minute group, that's good for today. If you're hanging around, that's great. I'm going to keep talking about memory for a little bit, and then I'll cut out. Hope you enjoyed it. And I don't know how it's going to sound, because it's my first time doing it. So enjoy. All right. I'm going to take a couple-second break of silence. Go inside your head and look around. See what's out there. What do you hear? I actually hear my feet hitting the ground, but for now I hear a bird. Even in the middle of winter, there are birds out here. In terms of smell, where I'm at, I don't know, when I see sunshine, I smell fresh. Makes any sense. I'm on a road with some traffic, but just knowing it's sunny out, I smell fresh air, clean air. It's kind of cool. What do you see? Do you stay focused where you're going? I'm looking around, I see a lot of white snow. I see a trail. Ready? During the summer, people can take the trail along the side of the road, but it's not one they upkeep during the winter, so there's nothing we can do today. I'll keep going on my road trip. All right. Now I'm coming up at a refuel break, so I've got to get some fuel back into me. What are you feeling? Now, maybe I'm a strange runner. I don't care the temperature. If it's 30, if it's 20, if it's 10. When I run, and I'll get about 2.5 miles in, my gloves have to come off. And they usually stay off to the end of the run, unless I hit a cold headwind. So I'm going to take my gloves off so I can feel the air on my hands. My hands are sweaty. I can feel that cool breeze drying that sweat off. It actually feels good. All right. So what do you sense? Go through all your senses and see if you can see things, feel things, hear things that you normally wouldn't, that you're holding back. It's funny, in terms of senses. Normally when I'm running, I have music playing, a podcast playing, an audiobook playing kind of distract me. But even then, I look down at my watch every now and then to see how far have I gone? How much more have I got left? Let's see. I'm not recording this. I'm at 3.5 miles. And I barely looked at my watch. Which is good. Distractions work. They help. All right. So let's go forward. Let's talk about SDAM, aphantasia. There are no cures. They're still researching it. There's no treatment. No magic pill to help people either maintain the memories that are making or recover the ones in the past. There's none. I have tried journaling, writing my day down in a journal so that I can go back and read it. And you know what I remember? This is going to sound strange. I remember writing it down in the journal. I don't remember the event, but I remember writing the event in the journal and what I wrote. So it never really helped with maintaining memory or keeping it there. So I kind of stopped journaling. I know I should do more for other reasons, but for many years I really wallowed in depression. Woe unto me for not having memory. And I've come to the conclusion that this is my life. This is who I am. This is the cards I've been dealt. I can feel pity, or I can go forward and do something about it. So I decided to keep on going. Okay, I don't have memory, but living in the now, that's easy for me. I don't have to worry about things I've done in the past. We're dwelling upon those things. I'm always living in the present, because it's all I got. There are other blessings of no memory. I can run the same route every single day, and it never gets old. It's not that it's new to me every day, because it's not. I know I run it, and I know some of the scenery, but it doesn't impact me like others do. The running club here in town used to have this run from the school to the lake and back. And most of them dreaded it because they've done it so many times. Well, I can tell you, I ran to the lake and back 3 times this week. And not once did I get bored. Not once did I not enjoy that run. So that's a blessing. I don't have to remember bad experiences either. They're not there. As well as the good ones. But there are some things I regret. I can't do anything about it. My dad passed away. Shoot, I gotta say 10 years ago maybe. I don't remember being with him. I don't remember things we did. I don't remember what he looked like. I know he existed. I know stories that me and my siblings have told. Because telling a story is not episodic. Telling a story is a different kind of memory. And some of those get retained. So I can be in a group of people. And if I'm telling a story, it's because I told the story many, many times. Not that I remember it visually, like most people do. It's because I've retold it enough that it became my crutch in a situation. What I mean by that is, socially, when you have memory, like I said in the beginning, you're at a party, or a gathering, or a family reunion, and always the topic comes back to the past. Remember when 2 words I hate. So typically in a group situation, I have a few phrases I use that I've held on to, but I can't hold a conversation. I can't join in with stories and excitement and laughter, which I think makes most people with aphantasia and SDAM introverts. Because we find ourselves, we can't be like everybody else. I am very uncomfortable in group situations. I remember a run I did, 2019, I ran a half marathon. I joined up with a few friends at the end to cheer some others on. And that group would talk about their experiences in the past, their run that day, whatever it was. And I couldn't even tell them how my half marathon went today, except for my end time, because I didn't have a memory of it. Even short term wasn't there. So I was uncomfortable. I like one-on-one situations because I can control the narrative. I can steer the discussion away from things that make me remember. Not make me remember, but make me realize I don't remember. So to me, I'd rather text somebody than meet them face to face because I can retain that much better than any experience we had together. So social media, to me, was a lifesaver. It was something I could use. It was documented, and I can go back and look at it. And it's not, sorry about the noise, it's not purely episodic. It's not visual based. So I was able to do more. I've got some great friends, people I consider great friends on social media. Some I've never met. But they're near and dear to me. Now, we're up to 45 minutes, so we got a ways to go. I want to share with the group that memory, yes, is a limitation, but it's not an end all. I actually wrote a book about 2 years after I learned about my memory disorder. It was a fiction book, an adventure mystery. I wrote it. I had certain areas that I included in the book, and I went to those areas and I took pictures so later on I could describe what they were, what they look like, because I couldn't remember them. I needed those pictures to guide me. But then I shelved the book for many years, almost 8 years, because life got in the way and it wasn't that important. And then 2020, the year of COVID, I took it off the shelf. I dusted it off, did some quick editing, and I self-published it. So I'm a published author. Did I sell millions of copies? No. Not that many. But it's out there. Could the book have been better? Absolutely. But I did it. I have since then decided to write some other books. Now, I'm not following good practices. Typically, authors should stay in the genre that they started in to build a following. Well, I kind of deviated. I wrote another book. basically a young adult, science-based book. Kind of fun. I enjoyed it. Did a lot of research for it. When I got to places I needed to describe, I used the internet. Got pictures and built my descriptions from the pictures. I haven't published this book yet. It needs to be edited. I've got to do that. But it's done. And then I decided to write another book. This book is about my memory. And I was on a couple social media sites for Aphantasia and SCAM, and I did a survey. I asked for a survey for a group of people to send me answers to questions. So I made up a whole group of questions. And I had some awesome takers because they all wanted to know more about their situation. So I took the answer to those questions along with my experiences, and I wrote a book. The title of the book, which came from one of the people that I worked with, was My History. My History is a Mystery. It's basically a book that describes what SDAM, aphantasia, is, what some other people's experiences are with it. It's done in a unique way. It's still being edited. I got an editor in Australia that's going through it, trying to improve it, throwing me some ideas. But the book is written. I got some tweaking I got to do. But it's written, and part of it is written what is known as Conversational Dialogue. A fiction book will have dialogue. It'll have things that two characters are talking together. They share whatever it is message you're trying to get across. Well, I did the same in part of this book. I had friends that I had laid out, and we had a conversation. And that conversation explained a lot of what my experiences were, but through conversational dialogue. Because people tend to understand better when they see opposing points of view or questions raised than just reading a fact-based book with just a bunch of facts. So that book is due out hopefully this year. I'll self-publish it again. It's very difficult to find a publisher. If you want to look it up, my author name is M.K. Whiting. You can find me on Amazon. And when I publish my book, it'll be in Kindle as well as paperback. And you can read more. Hopefully you will. The purpose of the book is not to make money, but to educate people on differences. My author, my editor, took up the charge to help me because she felt it was important to get a message like this across. Let people know that there are people out there like me living a life that's different from yours. They have, I don't want to use the word handicap because I don't consider myself handicapped, but they have lack of ability to do some of the things that you guys do. So be on the lookout. It's a coming. Okay, we're coming up on 50 minutes. How is everybody doing on their run? Let's do another head check. Where's your head at right now? Have I distracted you from your problems during your run? I hope so. Distractions are good. Have I bored you? I hope not. But if I did, sorry. Wasn't my intent. But I found that sometimes looking at others and their situation helps me realize my blessings, the gratitude I can have, and the things I am grateful for. I can tell you one thing I'm grateful for. It's positive and negative. My daughter was diagnosed with leukemia in 2018. And I was out of town when she was diagnosed, and I got the phone call from my wife. And I know at the time I was scared, hurt, angry, a million other emotions going through my head, but I can't remember them. I know it put me in a tailspin, but I can't remember it. She went through 2.5 years of treatment. And during those 2.5 years, 3 times she almost died because of the treatment. The actual leukemia, she's been in remission since the 3rd week. But the treatment, based on the protocol, continues for 2.5 years to make sure it won't come back. But the treatment got her in position 3 times and we almost lost her. And I'm glad I don't remember those details. My wife does. I do not. I just know we are blessed as a family. She's almost 3 years out of treatment. And with her form of leukemia, it's called ALL. It can be classified as cured if she stays clean for 5 years. Not just in remission, it's cured. And that's what we're shooting for. Every month we go in for a blood test and we wait for those results to see what happens. Scary. Very scary. But it's part of our life. But with my memory issue, I don't have to remember the pain. I look at her and I see a 15-year-old teenager, soon to be 16. That's a trooper in my eyes. So back to inclusion. As you interact with people and you see responses that don't make sense to you based on your way of life, based on your social structure, don't judge them. Try to understand. There may be a reason. Whether it's memory, whether it's something physical, whether it's a disease, or mental. We're all different, but we all want to be included. That's the common factor between all of us, is inclusion. We need acceptance. I like how Tina accepts. Her and I don't agree on political views or sometimes the things she's charging, but I know she's an includer. She's going to be okay with disagreeing and yet still include. And that's what we need to do. I've lost some good friends, people I considered best friends, because of my memory. Because they didn't understand why I did what I did, why I didn't call them, why I said what I said, why an event wasn't important to me as it was to them. And I lost them. Sad for that. And I can tell you, friends don't come easy to me. It's very difficult. But when I open up, it's because I trust. And when I lose them, that trust was pushed aside. And they don't understand. So, next time you're in a group, and you see somebody just standing there, listening to the group, not participating, reach out to them, one-on-one. outside the group. Find out who they are. You may get surprised. People that are introverts typically either avoid groups or isolate themselves when they're in a group. They sometimes protect themselves with a joke or a phrase that gets them off the hook for being part of the conversation. I've always been on the lookout for people who don't appear to fit in and be that person, like the little boy in the lunchroom that sees another little boy sitting all alone, and he goes over and shares a table with him. Has they had something in common? No, because it's the right thing to do. So, 57 minutes. Woohoo! We've gone so far in this run. And if you want to follow me, I am on Instagram. My running title is I Run to Stay Alive. I also have an author's Instagram account, mkwhiting04. You can follow me there as well. But I'm also on the Running for Real Superstars group. I have been for a couple of years. I don't participate a lot. I'll interject once in a while. But like I said, I'm an introvert. I usually stay in the background. I enjoy other people's posts. So doing this together run is on one hand hard, on the other hand easy. It's hard because I'm putting myself out there. It's easy because I'm doing it alone. Nobody's with me physically on this run. It's just me. But I hope this together run can help you on your run, and that you share it, as Tina always says, to share it with others, because that helps our family grow. Helps us all to feel included. To feel like we're part of a bigger family. All right, I'm going to take a quick breather break, rehydrate. There we go. Much better. I'm also trying to make this a non-stop run. I have a habit of stopping. Not a bad thing. I don't judge anyone else that does it. But I'll now and then just feel tired, or I'll stop for a minute or two and I'll get going. But I know racing is important to me. I've got a goal coming up. An April marathon. I want a BQ at. I've been chasing this BQ for 4 years. First year I was ready to do it, my daughter got diagnosed, and I put the brakes on. The next year I was getting back in shape, trying to get myself back, and then ready to go for it again, and then COVID hit. And I let COVID drag me down. I lost shape. I held back. And in 2021, I made an attempt and didn't succeed. But for 2022, my goal is to BQ. Not because I want to be recognized for it, because I want to do it. I want to accomplish it. I don't even know if I care about running Boston. I want to qualify and say that I was able to. That's my goal. My why, a friend asked me just the other day, when I was struggling just last week. What is your why? Why do you stop in the middle of a workout? Why do you cancel a workout? So I had to regroup and find my why again. My why can't be something in the past, because I have no memory of it. My why was really, I can do this. All the things that come at me, all the things that I've struggled with, I can still do this thing. I'm 58 years old, and life is just beginning. I'm not old. I'm just a late bloomer. All right, so we're up to our 60-minute group. Let's get ready for a couple of strides. Perfect for me because heading a little bit of the downhill. Ready? We'll go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick it up. All right. Feel that power in you. Stretch it out. All right. Good times. All right. Now, into your recovery. Walk. Or slow jog. Whatever works. And I want to say while we're recovering, thank you for the time. Thank you for spending some time with me today. I know it was really about me, but I'm hoping I can get a message out to others, to include others. Find somebody that needs your inclusion, and you can do it. Reach out. Even one will make all the difference to that person. All right. Feel recovered? Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. And there we go. 60-minute group. Thank you for hanging in with me. Some time today. Hopefully the audio will work. I don't know. I guess I'll know when I get home. So, thank you all for the runs you put in and for supporting Teen and the Superstars. Great group of people. I'm glad to be part of them. All right, that is it. Have a good day and enjoy yourself.
Hi friends, just a quick message to say a big thank you to the Running for Real team. While I may be the face of Running for Real and the voice behind the podcast, there are a group of people who are working tirelessly to provide everything that runners could need within our community, to make our community stronger, better, and evolve and grow and learn from one another. We are working really hard to make Running for Real the place we believe it can be within our community. I just want to take a moment to thank everyone on our team. That is Victoria, Stacy, Sandy, Sally, Maria, Kelsey, Kat, Jeremy, and Erica. I appreciate each and every one of you and the hard work that you put in. Now let's get back to the show.